All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we have the usual Monday market report, this time for the week ending January 8th, 2023, coinciding with the same exact weekend as the Florida Fun Show in Tampa, Florida. This is the biggest coin show to kick off the year, every year. And usually it's in Orlando. This year it's in Tampa, from what I understand. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, usually when a big show occurs somewhere in the country, auction sites like Great Collections or Heritage, unless they were one of the hosting auction services for that specific show, will normally throttle down on the amount of listings that they put on there. As far as coins and currency and things like that. Now, in this particular case, as you guys know, I generally like to gauge the modern market using Great Collections. They do these phenomenal auctions every single week, and it's generally a very reliable source when it comes to gauging the health of the market at that given time. We're still going to do that. GreatCollections.com, of course, is the go-to site for a lot of folks looking to sell any type of coin, whether it's a low-end coin, a high-end, or anything in between. And even though we have this big Florida coin show going on, there was actually still quite a bit of impressive activity on Great Collections. So we're going to highlight a lot of those. If this is your first time here, of course, to kind of recap, I've been doing this for a long time. If I had to guess, probably 5 years at this point. The Monday Market Report, that is. And, we explore the market for post-1900 modern graded coins to have sold for the week. And looking up and down, Lincoln Cents kind of all of a sudden woke up in a certain few areas. 60's and 70's all of a sudden just coming out of the woodwork with some crazy, insane type coins. Mostly registry sets, but there's also a few really cool varieties I have never covered before on an MMR in the history of the Monday Market Report. So there's going to be a lot to talk about with Lincoln Cents here this week. So if you are passionate about that particular series, stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. Alongside that, I mean, there's just a really good mix of stuff, all the way up to $50. I even squeezed in a $50 in this list. Now, we do have 18 coins we're going to talk about, which is generally, I don't know, it's more likely the average, but a little bit lighter in terms of how many coins I really want to talk about. I like to hit like 20. That's the sweet spot for this show. But 18, still not too bad, and not too bad considering that there is a big show going on as we speak. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, all of the data courtesy of GreatCollections.com if you're looking to sell or buy into a really nice trophy piece for your collection. Look no further. They are probably the best site to use right now. I would say they're worlds way better than eBay. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. If you guys are checking this out on a Monday morning while you're commuting to work, thank you for your support, and I hope you have a great week. All right, so let's go ahead and check and see what's going on here. Whoa, 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent. What a heck of a way to kick off this MMR. We have a coin that is a doubled die obverse. I mean, you guys have seen this thing before. I feel like I've talked about this coin till the wheels had fallen off, but how often do you get to talk about a Mint State 69 red graded example? Probably once or twice a year, if I'm lucky, does one of these come up in this grade. And this is just, in all accounts, a beautiful coin. These were all the rage back in 1995. Even had a little bit of a spot on news outlets, as being the coin to search during that time. And it really set the stage for a lot of variety hunters out there from that point forward. Again, you see the grade right there on the slab label. The coin is incredibly clean. Any scratches or scuffs that you see is actually on the slab itself and not on the coin. This thing is as beautiful as the day it was struck. And this one, again, heck of a start. This one sold for $6,081.24. The next one that we have here is the 1983 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Now, keep in mind, there's a very, very prominent double-to-die reverse for this coin. It's extremely popular. The prices on them have gone up quite a bit in the last year or so. They've flattened a little bit. However, this is not that coin. This is a completely different variety. 1983 doubled die obverse. This is the FS102. You have your best doubling on the word liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" on this one. I mean, if you need closer, better kind of like photos, you need some diagnostics of where to find this one. You're probably better off checking like coppercoins.com or Variety Vista, or one of those sites that will have better close-up images of the doubling of this coin. I'm telling you, I did a spot on this a few days ago. It's underrated and probably very scarce. Probably more scarce than any FS801 DDR that you will ever come across. Now, the grade is impressive. PCGS assigned a Mint State 67 red to this coin. And with that being said, what a just explosive sale. $12,436.88 was the final hammer price on this coin. And yeah, I double dog dare you to find another example that is as close to the beauty of this one. Also keep in mind, there is some doubling on the date. And traditionally, this is a coin that most people don't really look for. It's too minor. I need a jeweler's loop to look at it. But an FS102, being a cherry picker's guide variety, will have a lot of cachet with it. And with that, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be gunning for a premium specimens, much like this one. The next one that we have here, now we've talked in the past about perfect graded 70 proof Lincolns from the 70s and 80s. We have another one revisiting here, and that's the 79S, featuring just stunning frosted devices that is contrasted against the black fields. I mean, when the coin is just perfect, it just is perfect. And this one certainly plays the part very well. Still a very valuable coin. Not the easiest coin to grade. Most of them do come back 68 or 69. And that's when you think a coin is very clean. Normally on these examples, you'll find little white spots and things like that. Like rinsing hard spots, rather. This one right here sold for $2,531.25. All right, we have a couple extremely amazing coins. I mean, we're talking about registry set level specimens that I haven't covered since probably 2014, 2015. I used to be all about high-end, top pop registry set level coins from the 60s and 70s because they were, in a sense, scarce. Like, they really did not show up that often. It was kind of like one of those things you're really, really gambling. And believe me, you guys know that I did a number actually of the submissions of some of these dates of coins and had lost pretty big. I was super infatuated with popping my first 67. I had a lot of 66s, but a ton of 65s on some of these dates. 71D, very, very tough. Mint State 67 red is that pre-ultimate numerical grade that you have to have in order to hit big. Because, as you guys know, underneath that top grade, there's no safety net. If this thing graded out 66 plus, it's probably like a $50 to $100 coin. I mean, it's not going to do it all on its own. You need the top grade. This one right here is sold for $4,111.88. And this is kind of like the model of a mid-state 67 that you're going to look for on a lot of these dates. We also have another proof coin here. We have a 1970S. And this one, believe it or not, much like the 83 FS102 that we had seen earlier in the show, is a scarce one. Not many people are either aware of it or they've tried so hard to try and find one of these and it ultimately gave up because it's that difficult. But this 1970S Lincoln proof is the triple die obverse FS107. That means there's 6 other important double die obverses or some sort of doubling or tripled obverse coin out there before you get to the 107, and that's the one you see here. Again, like the 83, if you need better photos of close-ups and things like that, please do go online. Check out Copper Coins, Variety Vista, DoubledDie.com, or even Lincoln Cent Resource. They give you all the information you need, so that way you know what to look out for when you're out there hunting. But this is a Proof 67 Red Deep Cameo. That's about as good as it gets as far as grade. There aren't too many that grade higher than this. Again, a very difficult era, I suppose, of quality, even on proof coins. Because sometimes you'll come across these and they just don't have the level of frost that you want to earn a deep cameo contrast designation. This one right here ended up selling not too far off the previous coin. $4,112.49 was the final price. We also have this 1962D. Again, this is a coin I haven't talked about in a spell. It's been a minute, probably 6 years since I last covered a Top Pop grade of this particular date, but we're looking at another Mid-State 67 Red right here. This is a business strike coin, and they are extremely difficult to find at this grade level. This one right here, obviously registry set all the way, sold for $3,487.50. And the final 1 cent denomination on the list is one of my personal favorites. And boy, another one in the Mid-State 65 Red came to the market this past week. And it's the very coin you see before you. It's the 1909S, key date, Indian Head Cent, final date. Of course, it's got that mint mark on the reverse under the wreath, the center of the wreath area there. Very, very classic, very iconic coin. Sorry, that was my dog, actually. Even he's excited about this coin. But in any event, a stunner. Full red Indian Head Cents of any date is very collectible and highly coveted. So this one, no surprise it's even on here. This one sold for $5,512.50. We are on to nickels. Nickels were a little bit light this week. All right, so we had this one singular Jefferson nickel, 1962 Jefferson proof, another proof on the list. We actually had a number of these this week. This one is a Proof 69 Deep Cameo. It's close. I'm a little bit on the fence of whether or not this is actually a deep cameo or just a cameo, but the graders saw something that personally I don't see just from good old photos. Sometimes the coin in hand displays some of the better attributes of the overall designation of the coin, in this case the cameo contrast. A tough date to find with cameo at all the way up to about, like 1968, 69 is very difficult. This one right here ended up selling for $1,096.88. And we also had a few Buffaloes. How about a run-of-the-mill high mintage 1937? This is just an extremely clean, very, very minty fresh example, showing very little in the way of distracting marks. This is a very nice example. And, registry set lovers will like this. If I were going to spend the kind of money that this one sold for, I'd probably hold out on maybe a 1913 Type 1, like a Denver or a San Francisco in a high grade. But, a Mid-State 68 at the end of the day is going to be a coin that's chased pretty well. NGC graded this one, by the way, and it sold for $2,987.50. And 1930 Buffalo right here as well. This is actually the last nickel. We only had a couple nickels this week. Very nice. This is kind of like that turning point within the series where the coins went from crap quality to really nice. So this is kind of like the gateway of the last few years of just amazing quality Buffalo nickels, and the strike, this one really shows its beauty. Mid-State 67 by NGC. This one sold for $1,575 tonight. All right, we have a few dimes as well. So outside of a really stacked Lincoln Cent MMR or auction results, we've had a little sprinkle of here and there type of other denominations like this one, which honestly looks like Barney threw up all over it. That's kind of like what I think of when I see this. I just kind of came up with that, by the way. I don't really think about it, but with the purples and all that, the toning on here, it certainly gives it its originality that a lot of collectors are looking for. But check out the numerical grade that PCGS assigned on this one. Mid-State 68 with full bands. This thing is super hammered, and with the toning, you have quite the match here. This coin is sold tonight for a staggering $5,912.49. And here's one of the toughest dates to find with full bands, and I'm just glad to see one here tonight, regardless of what the mid-state grade is. But a 1919 Denver Mercury dime with full bands is right here. It says 64 by PCGS. And also CAC gave it its blessing as well as being a coin that they believe is on par with what a 64 grade looks like. This one right here is also a coin that is featuring a little bit of light toning on there. Again, it looks all original. This thing was never dipped or cleaned, I would imagine. Sold for $4,612.50. This is the one coin right here that if you're able to find like a mid-state 67 full bands or something, I believe if I remember right, it's like $100,000 coin. That's how expensive it is. It's one of the most expensive coins on the list of Mercury dimes. And then finally, we have a 1916 as well. No Denver mint mark on this one. This is just a Philly. Finding a Philadelphia 16 in mid-state condition actually is not hard at all. I own a few, and I bought them raw. I paid like $35 for them a few years ago. And they're just great coins to have because it's the first date of a very important series. But again, when it comes to registry set level, look no further than something like this. The toning really adds the element that the distinguished collectors are looking for as well. NGC assigned a mid-state 67 with full bands, CAC green bean as well, and this one sold for $1,248.75. All right, now we're on to quarters. Now, this is another proof quarter right here, or a proof coin rather. However, this one is pretty scarce. There's only a few, 10,000 or so. I don't know. I didn't even look. But the mintage of proof sets before 1956 really is scarce. And the coins get even more expensive. Like, if you're going to go out and buy a proof set from 54, you're going to end up coughing up like $200 to $250. And that is a scary amount of money if you're just kind of settling for any proof set, and a lot of them were junky looking. The coins didn't respond too well to the packaging at certain occasions, and you ended up with milk spots and all sorts of other weird stuff on there. But by all accounts, finding a coin like this with actual cameo contrast that PCGS agrees to being deep cameo, this is a rarity. All right, there's a very minute, very microscopic percentage of these with deep cameo. 68 is the grade, by the way, through PCGS, and this one sold for $4,236.75. A few more coins. We have a couple standing liberties. Here's a 1930S. This is a bomb right here. Mid-state 67 plus with full head. CAC certed as well. Is one of the biggest 1930Ss I've seen in the last year. And it's I believe, a top pop coin. It's going to go into a high-powered registry set. I mean, there were a number of people that were looking at this one, and it ended up selling for $22,275, which was not only the starting price, but the ending price as well, because there was one bidder that was ballsy enough to put a bid down on something like this, and it's very unlikely that you'll see another one quite this stunning ever again. It's a beauty. Very tough date. Even you get the free fingerprint on the reverse. I mean, it's not my thing. I prefer my coins to not have a fingerprint, but this is one right here that has it. Check out the grade. I mean, a scarcity of a coin by its grade. This one is a mid-state 63. No full head, none of that stuff. It's just a pedestrian grade, It's like it's barely useful for a lot of other coins, especially the more modern fare. 63 is a demoralizing grade on those coins, but on something like this that is rare and scarce, it's everything, honestly. Like this one, for example, in the 63, ended up selling tonight for $10,507.50. I mean, just think of the possibilities of this being like a 64 or a 5 or a 6. Man, that's crazy, crazy, crazy clown shoes pricing. And then the final quarter for today is a Type 1 exposed booby style standing liberty quarter. So yeah, this was the coin that had controversy written all over it, for a lot of reasons. You guys can do your research. I've talked about it a million kajillion times. But I love these. This was a precursor to a lot of things during this era. And, it's a 2-year type, I guess. They also had this one in 1916, but as you guys know, with a mintage of only 52,000, there's only so many of them to go around. And oftentimes they're not going to look this pretty. Mid-state 66, full head was the grade on this. It says Type 1 as well. As you can see, it doesn't have the 3 stars on the reverse either, which is the first type. And it sold for $4,050. So, very, 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 very nice coin. And the buyer got a gem right here. And I'm going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop. This is the final coin of the week, 2011 Kennedy half dollar, NIFC, which stands for Not Intended for Circulation. These things were produced by the Mint and sold by the Mint. You had to go to the US Mint website and buy these in either rolls or bags. And they were trash, to be honest with you, especially if you got these in the bag. A lot of the coins had bag marks and nicks and they look horrible. Now, this is a stunner, which leads me to believe that it was probably found in a mid-set, because these things were handled a little bit more cautiously than those coins that were available in the rolls and bags. So, you could go the way of the warrior on this one and, hunt through those mid sets for something like this, but wouldn't you rather just sit back and look for one, that's on sale? Not cheap. Kennedy half dollar registries are a very dedicated group of individuals. Mid-state 69 is pretty high. That's a high grade, 1 point away from perfect. I see maybe a few micro nicks on this thing that's preventing it from being a 70. But where'd we end up this one? Really, I really want to know because I forgot to put down the price. It was like $1,200 from what I remember, like $1,100 to $1,200. Again, is it worth it to go out and cherry pick these to grade them? Probably not. You're gonna have to send PCGS a number of these and not just one. It's hard to send just one coin thinking that you're gonna get 69. It's pretty impossible, to be honest. Yeah, you're going to have to send out a number of these to have a real shot. You need to be extremely discerning in your taste and quality. And this is just a knockout coin right here. But that's it. That is your Monday market report for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are checking out the fun show in Florida, hopefully you guys are having a good time. Let me know down below if you are, and if you picked up anything really cool. It's always the biggest show of the year, to kick things off. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I'm Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my video and channel if you haven't done so already. We hit 300K, baby. Let's hit 400K as quickly as we did 300K, and I will love you long time. That's for sure. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok as well. We're cranking out some pretty quality shorts. So if you like the shorter stuff, look no further, because I'm also on there as well. Well, my friends, that's going to do it. Have a great week. I'll see you guys later on, and happy hunting.